Security camera footage.
Yeah, a Metro Atlanta mom says it actually shows her son's ghost.
The mother of a toddler who died years ago claims her daughter's spirit is caught on camera.
Did you know that there are moments when human souls seem to leave the body captured on camera? In this video, we will explore real cases of spirits and ghosts interacting with our physical reality, challenging everything we thought we knew about life after death. Welcome to a journey into the realm of the supernatural, where souls, spirits, and ghosts transcend the limits of fairy tales. For centuries, these phenomena have been dismissed as pure fiction, but today, we will witness surprising evidence. In this fascinating exploration, we will delve into 16 extraordinary moments where souls and spirits were captured, leaving the body, immortalized by cameras. Join us as we unravel the mysteries of the ethereal realm and discover what lies beyond the visible. Number 15. The soul watching its own death. In this video, we find ourselves in the aftermath of a brutal car accident that has left an intersection filled with chaos and distress. Ambulances, emergency lights, and police vehicles fill the scene as paramedics work swiftly. The images of the wrecked cars and people with expressions of despair and concern create an atmosphere of urgency and sorrow. Amidst the commotion, the body of a victim has already been placed inside an ambulance, where medical attention is being provided. But the truly astonishing thing happens when the camera focuses on the rear of the ambulance near the victim's body. At this moment, a shadowy, ethereal, translucent figure begins to materialize in the video. The figure seems to take the shape of a man, though his body is not fully defined, and his form floats near the place where the corpse lies. It is a ghostly apparition that appears to be watching its own body, or perhaps saying goodbye, before embarking on its journey into the unknown. Many who have seen the video believe that what is shown is the soul of the victim leaving its earthly existence. The figure, in its translucent form, slowly moves away as if giving its last farewell before beginning its spiritual journey. This type of phenomenon, though both moving and terrifying at the same time, raises important questions about life after death. Is this the soul of the deceased person still aware of their death, or simply an echo of their consciousness? What happens when the soul leaves the body and enters another plane of existence? Although the origin of the video remains uncertain, the image of this spiritual figure watching its own death suggests that there are dimensions beyond human understanding. It invites us to reflect on what truly happens after death and the nature of our existence beyond the physical realm. This video opens up the possibility that there is a connection between the earthly and spiritual worlds, something that remains difficult for us to comprehend but presents itself in extraordinary moments like this. Number 14. The white orb, leaving the body of an elderly man. In this video, we are presented with a scene that evokes the mysterious atmosphere of spiritual phenomena. An elderly man lies quietly in his bed, seemingly asleep, in what appears to be the usual calm of his home. The camera captures the serenity of the room as the man remains motionless, completely unaware of what is about to happen. The peace of the scene holds for a few minutes until something remarkable occurs. As the video nears its end, a strange phenomenon emerges, a white orb, a glowing sphere that seems to emerge directly from the elderly man's body. The orb floats into the air with no resistance, moving gently and lightly. The most perplexing aspect of this phenomenon is that the elderly man remains still, as if the orb has no effect on his body. He doesn't seem disturbed in the slightest, leading viewers to wonder, what is this orb and what does it symbolize? Some interpretations suggest that the orb could represent the soul of the elderly man leaving his body, a visual symbol of his transition from the physical plane to the spiritual realm. This theory fuels the idea that souls leave the body in an intangible form, floating toward the ethereal. However, the meaning of these orbs remains uncertain, While some see them as mere illusions or manifestations of light, others believe that these orbs are indicators of a real spiritual presence. This video invites us to explore beyond the limits of the physical, suggesting that our existence is not limited to the body, but also encompasses a realm beyond the visible. Orbs, often associated with paranormal phenomena, remain a fascinating mystery whose meaning depends on each viewer's perspective. Whether it's a spiritual phenomenon or a simple play of light, this video leaves a sense of awe, reminding us that there is more to life and death than we can comprehend. Number 13. The image of the spiritual figure in the car accident. Imagine the scene. It's a gloomy, rainy afternoon, and a traffic accident has left a deep mark on a winding road surrounded by a thick forest. The snapshot, captured at this precise moment, is terrifying, as it shows the desperation of the first responders, with ambulances and police focused on the accident site. The officers' faces are tense and anguished, as if they already knew the victim's fate. At first glance, the image seems to depict a typical tragedy, but upon closer inspection, something truly chilling appears. A glowing white figure emerges from the victim's body like a ghostly apparition. This figure appears to ascend toward the sky, fading into the air, leaving the question open. Is this a representation of the victim's soul leaving their physical body? The juxtaposition of the physical and the spiritual in this image is striking. The presence of the white figure, contrasted with the dramatic scene of the rescue efforts, invites deep reflection on what happens after death. Is it possible that the souls of the deceased truly leave their bodies at that moment, leaving a visible trace for those with keen eyes? What happens to our essence once our body no longer responds? This type of phenomenon, though terrifying, also invites contemplation about life after death and the possibility of a spiritual plane to which our souls may ascend. The image becomes a visual enigma, awakening emotions and thoughts that confront us with the unknown. Just like the stories that have accompanied humanity for centuries, the presence of the supernatural in moments of tragedy reminds us that the boundaries of human existence are more blurred than we can imagine. Number 12. The soul of the drowned man in the Philippines. Prepare for a truly haunting story that challenges our beliefs about life, death, and the afterlife. In the Philippines, a brave man faced the dangerous current of a river in a heroic attempt to save a stray dog from drowning. The man, determined to rescue the animal, was quickly overwhelmed by the strength of the water, being pulled into the deeper parts of the river. The situation turned tragic, and while witnesses watched the man's brave efforts, fate claimed his life, making him the third drowning victim in that same river. However, the real surprise of this story came when a woman who was witnessing the scene decided to record the moment. Amid the chaotic situation, when the current had taken the man, something completely unexpected appeared. A white silhouette, human in shape, floated above the water. It was an ethereal figure, seemingly separating from the body of the drowned man, as if his soul were ascending into the beyond. The woman who recorded the video insisted that she had not altered the footage in any way, and firmly believed that what she had captured was a genuine phenomenon, a manifestation of the man's soul leaving his physical body. The rescue efforts continued, and the search and rescue team managed to pull the man from the water, but after 2 hours of anguished effort, no one was sure if he had survived. Unfortunately, the man did not survive his injuries, and his life was extinguished, leaving a tragic end to his act of heroism. The video that captured the silhouette of the man's soul left a deep mark on the witnesses and those who saw the footage. Was it truly his soul leaving his body? Is it possible that even at the moment of death, the spirit separates from the physical body? This video leaves us with a powerful reflection on the fragility of life, the mysteries of death, and what happens beyond the moment when our body no longer responds. Number 11. The dark figure in the hospital in India. Hospitals have always been places where life and death coexist, and often inexplicable phenomena do as well. In this video recorded in 2014 in a hospital in India, we find ourselves in a dark and desolate hallway in the dead of night, where something truly strange occurs. The camera begins by showing an unsettling environment. The hospital hallway is practically empty, except for a few people resting on the floor, seeking a moment of respite in the solitude of the hospital. At the far end of the hallway, the morgue entrance can be seen, a place that always evokes dark thoughts. The scene has a tense atmosphere, and the stillness of the darkness only heightens the suspense. Suddenly, a dark figure begins to materialize near the morgue door. It is a human-shaped shadow, whose form seems unstable, as if it is something between life and death. The figure remains still for a few seconds, then begins to move slowly down the hallway, approaching the people who are sleeping. As the figure gets closer, its form becomes more defined. But just before reaching the sleeping people, it passes them at a surprising speed and vanishes into the air. Some viewers believe this figure is the soul of one of the deceased persons in the morgue, finally leaving its physical form. The moment is unsettling as it leaves the question open. What would have happened if any of the sleeping individuals had come into contact with this spirit? Beliefs about spirits vary widely, from spiritual and metaphysical interpretations to purely psychological explanations. This video raises many questions about the interactions between the living and the dead, and whether these entities can or cannot affect our reality in a tangible way. While we cannot say with certainty what happened in this video, we are invited to reflect on the boundaries between the physical and spiritual worlds, and how the presence of the intangible can manifest in our surroundings in surprising and unsettling ways. Number 10. Joe's energy orbs. This unsettling video, recorded in 2018, shows an elderly man named Joe who appears to be in a deep sleep while resting in his bed. However, as the video progresses, something extraordinary happens. In the footage, small white energy spheres begin to emerge from his body, which some interpret as a manifestation of his soul leaving his body. These orbs, known by many as representations of vital energy, have been associated with the supernatural for centuries. The energy spheres, or orbs as they are commonly called, are considered by some to be a form of spiritual energy that surrounds human beings. However, not everyone agrees that these orbs are the soul itself, but rather a representation of the vital force animating the body. In this video, we can see how the first energy spheres slowly emerge, followed by more smaller ones, creating the eerie impression that something out of the ordinary is happening. This type of phenomenon has been documented in various cultures and traditions, and although many see it as a light trick or optical illusion, the video raises difficult questions. Could the energy orbs be a manifestation of Joe's vital force leaving his body? Or is it just a coincidence? Modern technology and security cameras allow us to capture these moments, but doubts remain about what we are truly witnessing. The video invites us to reflect on the very nature of life and death, and whether there is something beyond the physical that we cannot see with our eyes. Number 9. The soul leaving the body. Prepare for a haunting and moving story originating from the deserted streets of Japan. This video, recorded in the 2000s, takes us to a lonely place in Japan, where a solitary figure appears walking slowly down the street. The camera, capturing this moment, shows a man walking with a melancholic step, carrying a bag in his hand. The man heads toward the edge of the sidewalk under a bridge, as if searching for some semblance of comfort in his difficult situation. The simplicity of the scene manages to convey a profound sense of loneliness and helplessness. However, the story takes an unexpected turn when, after a few moments, the camera shows something extraordinary. It appears as though the man's soul begins to separate from his physical body. His figure starts to rise slowly, lifting off the ground. His spirit, visibly more ethereal, pauses in mid-air, suspended as if it is bidding farewell to the form it once inhabited. Meanwhile, His physical body remains inert, lying on the sidewalk as if nothing has changed. The scene is hypnotic, and as the soul slowly fades away, it seems to understand that its time on the physical plane has come to an end. With an expression of liberation, the ethereal figure moves away, ascending to the unknown, heading toward the spiritual realm that awaits it. The video, though somber, offers a deep reflection on the nature of human existence and the journey of the soul. It reminds us that beyond our earthly life, there may be an invisible and transcendental dimension that connects us to a greater purpose, one that we can only imagine. Although the origin of the video remains a mystery, this footage invites us to reflect on life and death and raises philosophical questions about the essence of our being. The idea that the soul can separate from the body and continue its journey beyond the physical world leads us to question the meaning of existence itself. The disconnection between the physical and spiritual worlds, though difficult to comprehend, could be much more real than we imagine. This video, both sad and beautiful, leaves us with a deep reflection on the impermanence of life and the intangible nature of human consciousness. Number 8. The Spirit of the Woman Rising. This video, which began circulating on Instagram, has captured the attention of millions. In it, an Indian woman, seemingly lifeless, is lying on the ground. Suddenly, the video distorts, and as if by magic, a spirit appears to rise from her body. This ghostly figure, resembling the original woman, begins to float in the air. According to Indian culture, this manifestation would be what is known as the Atma, the soul that leaves the physical body upon death. The video, which was edited to intensify the supernatural atmosphere, shows how the woman's Atma slowly separates from her body. What is even more chilling is when the suspended figure in the air turns toward the camera and gives it an unsettling smile. Although the video is clearly manipulated, the idea that the woman's soul is detaching from her body has led many to wonder whether we are witnessing a genuine manifestation of the supernatural or if it is all part of a visual trick. Energy orbs and spirit manifestations have been captured on cameras for years, but this video presents a particularly intriguing interpretation of how the soul might leave the body. The woman's reaction at the end, smiling while her spirit floats, has left an indelible mark on the audience. The video's editing makes it seem like a real phenomenon, although not everyone is convinced of its authenticity. Nonetheless, this video remains a mystery to many, and its impact on popular culture has sparked a great conversation about the soul and its existence after death. Number 7. The spirit that comes in and out of the body. This next video takes us inside a bedroom where two middle-aged people are resting. The camera captures a woman peacefully sleeping on a large bed, while another person lies on a smaller bed beside her. At first, the scene seems calm. Both individuals immersed in a deep and serene sleep. However, what starts as a common image soon turns into a surprising phenomenon. As the video progresses, a whitish figure enters the room, floating ethereally and captivatingly. The figure, with a vaguely human appearance, approaches the woman lying on the large bed. It's hard to define whether it's a shadow, a spiritual manifestation, or something even more complex. The figure seems to approach her with silent intent, and chillingly, it enters her body as if merging with her. After a few moments, the figure exits her body and slides back into the room, as if it were part of a natural cycle. The video is accompanied by the confused comments of the woman who watches the footage in disbelief. In her words, there is a mix of awe and desolation as the scene challenges her understanding of reality. "What was this?" she exclaims as she watches the footage of the entity entering and exiting the woman's body. Some viewers suggest it might be a case of astral projection, a phenomenon where the soul or consciousness temporarily leaves the physical body during sleep or an altered state of mind. Others, however, have no doubt that it is a spirit interacting with the physical world. Regardless of the interpretations, this video raises a fascinating reflection on the existence of the soul. The idea that souls might be seen leaving and entering bodies through technologies like security cameras opens the door to deeper debates about the nature of consciousness, the connection between the physical and spiritual realms, and the existence of other planes of reality. These supernatural phenomena, though heavily debated, challenge our perception and understanding of life and death. While some cling to more scientific explanations, others insist these events are tangible proof of spiritual dimensions and a reality beyond what we can see or touch. Number 6. The unexplained shadow over the body. This unsettling video was recorded outside the Phibonsram camp in Lori, Thailand, according to a report by the Daily Mail. The scene begins with a rapidly unfolding traffic accident. A truck and a motorcycle, both speeding, are involved in a violent crash while attempting a turn. The impact is devastating, and the motorcycle passengers are violently thrown to the ground. The victims are flung from their vehicle, and time seems to stand still as their lives are forever marked by this tragic incident. Amidst the chaos, an inexplicable figure appears in the footage. Over the lifeless body of one of the victims, a blurry, diffuse shadow begins to materialize. Despite the commotion surrounding the scene, with people running to attend to the injured, this figure remains floating and completely still. It's as if something else is present in that space, something that doesn't belong to the physical world we see. This apparition, unsettling and mysterious, remains in the camera's view while the victim's body lies motionless on the ground. The video was shared on YouTube by Sutan Raj Swan on September 17, 2024, and managed to gather more than 700,000 views in just 3 weeks. However, the authenticity of the footage has been heavily debated. Many critics point out that what appears in the video might simply be an illusion caused by misaligned pixels, creating the illusion of a spirit or other supernatural entity. Some YouTube users even commented angrily about the supposed lack of respect for the tragic events being captured. "The worst special effects of all time," one viewer commented, expressing skepticism about what some consider a montage or false representation. It's important to note that despite the controversy, the Daily Mail has not been able to verify the authenticity of the footage. Nonetheless, the video continues to attract attention from those fascinated by the mysteries of the supernatural. For many, this recording serves as a reminder that the inexplicable might be closer than we think, leaving open the question: is there something beyond the physical that we still don't understand? Could the victim's soul have become trapped in this plane? Number 5. Robbie's spirit. In 2019, a surprising sighting was captured by a security camera in a woman's home. She and her daughter were watching TV in their living room when they received an alert on their mobile phone notifying them of detected movement at their front door. When they reviewed the security footage, the two women were shocked to see a figure at the entrance that looked astonishingly like Robbie.
Okay, maybe that's a curtain that's billowing, or maybe that's, an appliance. That's definitely a human.
The woman's deceased son, who had passed away in 2016 due to an accidental drug overdose. What's surprising about this sighting is that it occurred nearly 3 years after Robbie's death. The figure appearing in the footage is unmistakable to his mother, who is convinced it's the spirit of her son. She interprets this phenomenon as a manifestation of her loved one, who has somehow returned to visit her. The figure, though blurry and somewhat distorted, has a presence resembling Robbie's physical appearance. This sighting has puzzled many, as it raises important questions about life after death and the possible existence of spirits interacting with the physical world. Beliefs about life after death and spirit sightings vary among individuals. Some firmly believe these manifestations are proof that the spirits of our loved ones continue to exist in some form and may cross the line between the physical and spiritual realms. Others, more skeptical, suggest these sightings are merely coincidences, misinterpretations, or even deceptions created by technology. Despite the controversy over its authenticity, this video has been widely shared and discussed, leaving viewers wondering if it's possible for the spirits of our loved ones to return to let us know they are well. Number 4. The soul of a woman leaving her body. This video began circulating in 2014, showing a woman seemingly on her deathbed, surrounded by a dark and gloomy atmosphere. In the video, a ghostly figure, white in color with blurry contours, slowly emerges from the top of her body as if the woman's soul is leaving her physical form. The figure, completely separate, moves quickly towards a door in the background, disappearing from view in the blink of an eye. While the quality of the video raises doubts, the eerie atmosphere and the manifestation of the ghostly figure are undeniable. The video was filmed in an apparently haunted hospital, adding an additional level of mystery and unease. Although it's not certain whether the recording was made in India or another country, what is clear is that the footage has left a mark on those who have seen it. Skeptics might argue that the video was manipulated, but the blurry quality and the spooky atmosphere contribute to the sense of the inexplicable. As the ghostly figure moves swiftly towards the door, many have wondered whether we are truly witnessing a paranormal phenomenon or if it is just a camera trick. Some observers have been drawn to the idea that this video shows the soul leaving the body, a concept that has been part of human beliefs for centuries. While science has yet to prove the existence of souls, the idea that something else may exist beyond the physical realm resonates deeply in many cultures. This video, though ambiguous, leaves us with a disturbing feeling that perhaps what we see is not all there is. Number 3. White orbs or angels in the hospital. In a moving and deeply meaningful video, Janice Whitmer shares a deeply personal experience that took place in 2013, capturing her mother on her deathbed at Baptist Hospital in Nashville, Tennessee. According to Janice, while her mother was unconscious in her hospital bed, she was surrounded by what she believes to be white orbs, luminescent figures that she described as angels. The orbs floated and hovered continuously around Janice's mother, and she believed these orbs represented angels there to guide her mother's soul to heaven. The image of those orbs shining in the darkness of the hospital is overwhelming, and Janice firmly believes that this phenomenon is a clear sign of divine presence, a tangible manifestation of the soul's transition to the afterlife. She argues that this experience would make anyone believe in angels and in the existence of a higher plane of existence. The video has sparked a huge number of reactions, with thousands of viewers, including nurses and family members of deceased people, sharing their own similar experiences. Many claim to have witnessed phenomena suggesting the presence of spiritual entities during the dying process, such as souls or angels, and some even claim to have seen energy orbs like the ones Janice captured. In her professional experience, palliative care nurses confirm that these phenomena are common due to their constant exposure to death, with some saying that souls and angels make their presence felt when a loved one is about to depart. This video, along with the testimonies of those who have had similar experiences, raises a fascinating question. Is it possible that the soul truly leaves the physical body at death, and that angels play a role in its transition to the beyond? For some, this recording is compelling evidence that the soul not only survives after death, but is also accompanied by spiritual entities that facilitate its journey. Number 2. The soul emerging from the body. The next video takes us to a somber and tragic scene. This footage shows the aftermath of a car accident that occurred abruptly and violently, leaving a driver dead at the scene. The video, recorded by a passerby, captures the chaos of the situation. Paramedics, police officers, and emergency vehicles surround the wreckage of the car, while flashing blue and red lights illuminate the disaster. As the camera moves through the scene, something unexpected happens. From the lifeless body of the driver, a dark, ethereal, and partially translucent figure begins to slowly emerge. The figure seems to be a spiritual manifestation, as if the soul of the deceased is leaving their physical body. The most surprising aspect of this recording is that while all this is happening, the paramedics and police officers continue working with complete indifference, unaware of what is happening around them. It is only through the lens of the camera that we can witness this unique and disturbing moment. This type of footage raises many philosophical and spiritual questions about death and the passing of life. The ghostly figure seems to represent the very essence of the person, shedding their physical form. Is it possible that the soul of a human being can be captured on video as it leaves the body? What happens to our consciousness when our body is no longer functioning? Although the video doesn't offer clear answers, it invites us to reflect on what happens beyond our physical existence, suggesting that there may be something more beyond what we can see or comprehend. The recording offers a poignant and eerie depiction of how human life can leave the body in its final breath, leaving viewers contemplating the mysteries of the spiritual world. Number 1. The shadowy figure of the helicopter. In March 2021, in an unknown state of the United States, a man was severely injured in an accident and was urgently transported to the hospital by helicopter. However, what occurred during the helicopter's takeoff turned out to be a truly perplexing event. As the helicopter ascended, a shadowy figure seemingly emerged from the vehicle mid-flight. Shortly after this incident, the man was declared dead. Although this story is intriguing, we must approach such claims with caution. With no additional specific details about the incident or supporting evidence, it's difficult to offer a clear or conclusive interpretation. The phenomenon could be related to optical illusions, visual artifacts created by lighting conditions, or a distortion in the observer's perception. This type of report about shadowy figures or apparitions in moments close to death is often linked to out-of-body experiences or paranormal phenomena. However, without further information about the case or deeper investigation, this account remains a mystery open to interpretation. Still, the idea of a figure separating from the body at the moment of death is something that has fascinated people for centuries, leaving room for speculation and reflection on the boundaries between life and death.